I'm going to start off with the classic round brush, which is going to be one of the brushes that you're going to use quite a bit out there unless fashion changes. And then again, brushes will be chosen and used based on what is fashionable that day. But right now, the round brush is a very popular brush out there to be using. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how we teach our blow dry techniques at Capri. I'm going to be demonstrating the different blowouts techniques with the different various brushes on this mannequin. And I'm also going to show you how we take sections. So when we talk about working with a blow dryer and a brush in our hands here at Capri, we never want you to actually have to shut the blow dryer off and put it down, because that's going to cost time in the salon. So what we're going to teach you is how to work with multiple tools in your hand at the same time. We're going to have a blow dryer in our opposite hand, our weak hand. So a lot of people say, oh, I cannot blow dry it. I have to use the blow dryer in my right hand. And that's because you learned how to blow dry your own hair and not be blow drying other people's hair. The reality is the blow dryer should always be in your weak hand. So I'm a righty, you can see it's in my left hand. If I'm a lefty, it should be always in my right hand. The brush we want in your strong hand, because this is what needs to be manipulated to get the hair, or the technique to manipulate it to give us the results we want. So your brush should always be in your strong hand. When we go in and take the clients at our salon, or at our clinic in our schools, we want to make sure that if the client has straighter hair, we remove some of the excess moisture before we get started. And the reason being is we don't have to worry about straight hair getting frizzy and things like that. So we tell our students, or we teach you guys, how to eliminate some of the moisture before we get started. If we're doing a blowout with a client who has curly hair and wants to go to straight hair, we will start from very wet to very dry, and that's really the key to that, so that we do not and have the ability to stretch that hair out and it does not give us as much frizz. So that's what we have to give you as a preliminary. I'm going to just shake dry this a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is you're going to see me work with my cutting clips, and I'm going to show you the technique on how we take sections with all of our tools in our hands without having to put anything down. So let's get started. So at this point, I feel that there is enough moisture taken out of the hair, and I'm going to now start using my cutting clips with my brush in my hand. And as you can see, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to take this clip, which is open. I'm going to glide this behind the ear, and I'm going to glide it along the scalp. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to lift the clip out until I see the end of the clip. I'm going to then take my pinky and grab that hair from the top of that clip, and I'm going to grip it, and then I'm going to, with the open clip, push down for my first section of my blowout. And there it is. We're going to continue working with clips around the head, and we should not need more than at any given time 4 clips to do this. Remember also that it's not necessary to have perfectly straight sections, as we're doing a blowout here and they don't have to be perfect. So again, the technique of using your clip with an open clip, gliding it along the scalp, lifting it out so that you find the end, use your pinky there, grab it, push down with the clip, lift up with your hand, and we are now ready to get started. I'm going to just take this rest of this front out here. Here we go, up and out of the way, and as you can see, I have a good section where I can now start my blowout. The explanation here as far as a round brush, here's the big mistake. What students do right off the beginning is they try and start to roll the brush right at the scalp area, and that's not beneficial in any way. So when you start to do a round brush blow dry, you're not constantly rolling the brush. What we want to do is we want to make sure that when you come in with the brush, you could see that I'm going to lift this hair up with just the pinky of my blow dryer off the blow dryer, because I need the other fingers to be able to hold that motor, because these have to be nice and secure. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blow dry this, but you're going to see me come in with my wrist kinked like this. I'm going to then pull a quarter turn until I come out to the end. So the only time I'm going to be rolling this round brush is when I'm getting to finish up this this section, and just to bend the ends under. That's when the roll begins. But before that, it's a quarter turn, pulling the hair, following the brush with the blow dryer, making sure that the blow dryer is always blow drying the hair down behind the brush, following the brush. So here we go. So what you might have noticed during that section when I was blow drying it is that I'm always making sure that if the brush is not in the hair, I'm grabbing it with the pinky. There's at no time do I let go with the brush and let the hair hang until the hair is 100% dry. And that's a very important part. So when you talk about blow drying, once I put the blow dryer on that section, I am following the brush out. But in reality, the way in which we do a proper blow dry is I want to make sure that I dry the root area first, then the mid-lengths, and last but not least, the ends. And the reason being is the hair is healthiest down at the root, and it's the weakest and driest at the very ends. So we want to concentrate most of our heat at the root area, then the mid-lengths, and by that time, the ends are almost completely dry, and we don't have to put as much heat on those ends. So watch again how we do this, and this is our round brush blow dry. Now, if you're wondering what am I doing when I turn around my blow dryer, is that the blow dryers you receive, which are excellent blow dryers, Elchums, in your kits, is that it does not have a cool button, which many of the blow dryers these days do have, which shuts off the heat. When you talk about hair being dried, when the hair is heated up, it is in a weakened state, because the bonds are broken in the hair strand, which are called the H bonds. When we go and cool them off is when the hair sets into whatever we're trying to achieve. So when I go and take the motor and the cold air, or the air being sucked into the motor from the back of the motor, is drawing out the heat from that hair, so it's setting that bend that I'm looking to achieve down at the bottom. So that's our first section. We're going to continue this blow dry for you, and we're going to bring out a few more points with the round brush blow dry. At this point in time, I'm going to now demonstrate to show you how we're going to drop our next section again without putting any of our tools down and without shutting off our blow dryers. Start off with the last clip that I put in. I'm going to release that. I'm going to hold it next to my brush. I'm going to take my next clip, going to grab it, hold it in my hand, and last but not least, we're going to take this clip and I'm going to work with the first clip I put in. We're going to move our mannequin here. I'm going to open that clip. I'm going to slide it along, lift it out till I find the end. Pinky grabs it, pushes it down. Again, following procedures, and again, my blow dryer would be on during this time. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. Open clip, glide it along the scalp, lift out till you find the end, grab the hair, push down with the clip, lift that hair up. Last but not least, we're going to continue this. We're going to take our open clip, We're going to go right to that ear, find the end, lift it up out of our way. Again, find the end, and there you go. So we have our straight section, reasonably straight, good enough for a blowout. And now we're going to continue that procedure for the blowout. At this point in the blow dryer, what I'm doing is I'm now going into the interior of the head. And the difference between the exterior and the interior is we're now working at the widest part of the head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up my technique here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually be blow drying the hair to create some action in this. And with the round brush, we're going to feather this hair back. So with my clip, again, open clip from the corner of the eye to the crown area, I'm going to lift that hair up and out of the way. So I'm going to be creating a triangle on top, which will be used for the very end, where we blow dry the top area of this haircut. So we're going to take this up and out of our way, and we're going to clip that out of the client's way by just clipping that hair up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change positions, and we're going to actually be blow drying with the hair coming back away from the face. So we're going to start on the one side. I'm going to put this clip down. We're going to now start on this side of the head, and we're going to blow dry this back away from the head. And what you're going to see me do is I'm going to use a sectioning pattern where I'm going to actually be sectioning the hair, but not straight up and down like this. Okay, what you're going to see me doing is I'm going to actually be cutting or sectioning the hair on an angle this way. And why I'm going to do that is I want to make sure that when I'm working with my round brush, I'm not working just straight like this, because that will make the hair droop with gravity. In all reality, when we're doing a blowout on a client, we want to go anti-gravity and we want to go up and in. So we're trying to get a hair higher so that if it does drop a little bit, it's still going to have the volume it needs. So I'm going to start in the back area here in the nape, center back. And what I'm going to then do is I'm going to be blow drying this section by section. But if you're thinking of this as a roller, the rollers are going to be put on a diagonal versus vertical. So take a diagonal section, and we're going to take this brush. We're going to start to roll it this way, again using my pinky. And again, pulling the hair out. Notice that the brush is being pulled forward towards the face to get the root area voluminous. Just like when we do with roller sets, we want to bring that hair up and out forward 45 degrees over so that we create the volume that we need. It's like an on-base roller. If we were to keep pulling the hair back this way, she's going to wind up with less volume, and we're not going to get this type of style that looks correct. So we got to go forward with this, and then we're going to roll it back. Remove the heat. Let the brush go. Okay, going to continue doing that through this haircut. On this last section, please take note of the body position that I'm using right now, and I'm standing in front of my client, pulling the brush towards myself to create that volume. As you can see, we have the first section done, and this is the left side of the, this is the left side of the client. We're going to now go into the opposite side, and I'm going to show you two different body positions and two different techniques. At the beginning of this video, I explained to you regarding how you want to keep the brush in your right hand because it's your strong hand. There was a point in time during our careers, or during the history of hairdressing, that you would have to follow the procedures that, again, brush in your strong hand That was very important, especially during the times where hair was being blow dried in very detailed manner, okay, when blow drying first came out. So the first way we're going to do this is by keeping the brush in the right hand. We're going to go in here and we're going to follow the same procedure, diagonal sections, not just vertical, and we're going to show you the position of how I change my blow dryer and this brush when I'm doing it using my right hand. So here we go. I take my blow dryer, and rather than holding it like this, I'm going to flip it like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to bring my arm up and over, and now you could see that I'm working with the brush, with the blow dryer working underneath this section. Now, early in my career, I found that very, very awkward, and I was told that I cannot be ambidextrous when I'm doing a blowout, so I was forced to blow dry like that for quite a bit of time in my career. But what I decided to do was to try for myself if I could actually do it with my weaker hand with my blow drying brush, and I did wind up accomplishing it and actually blow drying hair, not following the general rules of the classic hairdressers and things, and I switched hands using the blow dryer in my right hand and my brush in my left hand. And I'm going to show you that technique for the rest of the side here. So now the last part of this blow dry is the top area, and again I want to demonstrate for you where we should stand when we're doing this top area. We're going to follow the same process. We're going to remove our clips, but we're not going to put them down. We're going to then start in the front of this area, and we're going to actually blow dry from the crown area, working our way towards the front. So I'm going to take a section of hair with my clip. Sometimes I don't have to use clips here. We could just basically not clip the hair and just work our way from the crown. Two ways we could stand in our salons when we do this technique. One of them is to stand to the side here, which I'll demonstrate first, and then of course the next position I'll show you will be actually standing directly behind my client. So here we go. One of the things that you should take note of is that as I'm blow drying this, the hair is being dragged 45 degrees over, again, just like in our roller setting, to blow dry this hair on base to create maximum volume, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. The other thing you should note is that this technique where I'm standing and with the way in standing in the back, this is going to be required for you at the state board, blow drying from the crown to the front at your state board during your state board blow dry procedure. So please pay close attention to how we're going through this. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to now show you the position where we're going to actually be working standing behind our client, and we'll do that for you now. So another position, or another body position that you could use while you're blow drying the top of the head is by simply standing behind the client and working your brush this way. So here we go. Notice how low I drop that brush. We want to get maximum volume out of that. Make sure that we're still following the same procedure. Root area dry first, then the mid-lengths, then the ends. Okay, so that's basically the end of our blowout, showing you the voluminous, smooth texture of the mannequin. We're not using any products in here or anything like that. We're mainly concerned with not the finished results, but actually the technique that you guys just learned of working with the round brush. So that's our first lesson. We're going to now go into different types of brushes, and hope you enjoy.